What's up, everyone? So, we're back. We're doing the Hoenn starters. I do recommend watching the Sceptile video first because I talk a little bit more in detail about what, just some introductory stuff in the first couple minutes of that video if you want to go see that. If you are new here, though, I would recommend checking out the first couple minutes of that video because I don't want to waste too much time doing that intro in every single video, but the very short TLDR is that, well, not that you're reading this, but yeah, the very short gist is that this is a new ROM hack where every Pokemon is balanced and reworked to be very viable and fun to use, and the overall power levels are very high, and there's like 20 plus custom new abilities and tons of custom new moves and move buffs, and all the stuff is laid out for your viewing pleasure in detail in the description below. If you just click that link, that Google Sheets link, you can check out all of these changes to all these Pokemon for yourself in the description. It's super cool, and I put a lot of time into it, so it would be helpful for you if you want to learn more about this. Being said, let's get into Blaziken. So Blaziken was obviously a great Pokemon, although Speed Boost was not obtainable in the throughout regular gameplay. So it was kind of not that fast, just a strong mix attacker. Of course, though, with Speed Boost being available, it would be an incredible Pokemon in its own right without any other buffs. One of the few exceptions where I actually could literally have left it completely unchanged and just given a Speed Boost and it would have been good. However, something I wanted to achieve with Blaziken is a couple of things. First things first, I wanted to make it so the other firefighting types, which there are obviously two other lines, are not outclassed by Blaziken, and I think I'm going to do a very good job at that given the plans I have. For the other two, specifically Infernape, because Emboar is going to be a lot really tanky and stuff, so that's not too much overlap there. I mean, one of them's just way tankier than the other one, one's faster. But Infernape specifically, not that Infernape was bad, I mean, Infernape was great, but yeah. And also just, to make Blaziken a little bit more reasonable, while also still being very powerful. Keep in mind the power levels in this hack are extremely high, so you might see this as a buff to Blaziken purely because of the speed boost and the new move pool and the good abilities and stuff. Speed boost meaning the speed stat boost. Of course, they already had speed boost, but it's not anything crazy at all. It's just a strong, solid Pokemon. It is pretty frail, lacks defensive utility in a lot of cases, so it's mostly just an offensive mon. Although it does have stuff like Feather Dance and Battle Cry for defensive utility if you want to use those, both of which drop opponent stats. Again, you can check out what all these new moves do in the description below, and I did change and buff the vast majority of moves, so I would recommend checking it out. But first things first, I wanted to give Blaziken an ability that fits and is good to use over Speed Boost that isn't overpowered. And so I settled on Reckless and No Guard. So you might see here that there is a duplicate of Speed Boost. The reason being is because if you Mega Evolve your Blaziken, so for example, the AI, okay? The AI isn't smart enough to wait to Mega Evolve. They can't use Detect or Protect and then Mega Evolve the turn after they get the Speed Boost. They aren't smart enough to do that. So what I ended up doing is I have one ability on basically base Blaziken has Reckless and Speed Boost, and then when you Mega Evolve, Reckless becomes Speed Boost versus Speed Boost becomes No Guard. So what you can do is you can run a Speed Boosting set on base Blaziken, then Mega Evolve and gain No Guard with your Speed Boosts, while the AI can just run straight up Speed Boost Mega Blaziken. Versus if I had just done Reckless turns into No Guard and then Speed Boost turns into Speed Boost, not only is that a lot less interesting and fun, but it's also a lot worse for the AI to abuse because they don't get, it's a lot worse for you to abuse because you don't get that benefit of, having a cool ability in your pre-Mega form, getting that Speed Boost, for example, like something like Mega Sharpedo used to do, or probably maybe still will do. We don't know. I'm not positive. I know one of his forms will have Speed Boost. I'm just not sure which one. But yeah. It's really cool. Okay, so you can get that +1 speed, and of course base Blaziken in general is just a lot faster now, just for logical reasons, and also just so he doesn't rely on Speed Boost anymore. So you can just run a regular offensive Blaziken with Reckless. 105 base speed. If you check out the speed tier guide, you can see where that stacks up with the other Pokemon. It's a very good speed tier, and he has tons of awesome new Reckless moves, which you can actually check out if you click that little box. You can see all the new moves. Of course, you can also search those in depth on the search all moves here guide, and you can see there's literally a recoil move section, and I have them all listed out right here, so I'll be using that. But Blaziken does get access to Overheat and Flare Blitz, as well as Blazing Assault, for fire-type Reckless moves, Overheat and Flare Blitz being physical and special versions of one another, while Blazing Assault is an even stronger version that loses the chance to burn, the good 1 in 4 chance to burn, but in exchange, you get extra 25 base power, and you only get the drawback of lowering your defenses. But if you're using Blazing Assault, you're going to be wanting to knock out the opponent in one hit anyways. So something like Blazing Assault plus Submission, which are both 150 base power moves, with Reckless is incredibly powerful. You also have access to Dive Bomb and High Jump Kick, Dive Bomb being a special version of, a flying version of High Jump Kick. So you have Stab High Jump Kick, which is Reckless boosted, as well as Dive Bomb. And those two moves actually go great with no guard sets as well, which I'll cover. But it's really good because you can essentially run those two moves and not have overlap with your abilities. You also have access to double edge early on at 48 for, like, you know, neutral recoil coverage. It's very strong 150 base power with reckless, so it's just a nice move, 50% chance to dot defense. And then via TM, you have access to takedown, play rough, and wild charge. I believe I gave them wild charge, right? If not, you just take down and play rough. Takedown is great, you know, for physical stab, and then you have play rough, and yes, I did give them wild charge. So, and rock climb, actually. I think I just gave them rock climb because they already learned stone edge, so why the fuck not give them rock climb? Who cares? It's not a big deal, and I also like it for reckless. So yeah, those are all very powerful with reckless, and you can actually run shell bell sets with reckless if you really are worried about that recoil for some reason, although I wouldn't really worry about it. But shell bell is buffed. You can also check out all the other Hell buffs and changes. There's a lot of them in the description below as well. But yeah, rock climb, takedown, play rough, wild charge. Those moves will have 0% recoil with the shell bell equipped, while overheat, flare blitz, double edge, blazing assault, and submission deal 5% recoil. Also, Brave Bird as well. I forgot to mention Brave Bird is also a great recoil option for coverage. So Brave Bird or Dive Bomb. Brave Bird is a lot more consistent. Dive Bomb has that 10% chance to miss, and if you miss, you are kind of fucked. Not to mention, Brave Bird and submission and takedown have good additional chances to drop defense, or at least takedown and Brave Bird do. Well, Dive Bomb and High Jump Kick have nothing. However, they are very powerful and technically drawback free, especially when you consider that you have no guard. So that's all your reckless options, okay? It's very simple, very straightforward buff right there. It just, you know, 120 base attack, 20% boost to all these very strong moves. It's a very fitting ability. I didn't think it's anything too crazy. It's just a really strong, fun ability to use. And yes, that does mean Embor will not have reckless anymore. Embor will have much, much better abilities, trust me. Embor is going to be really awesome. Because he was by far the worst of the three, so in terms of the firefighting type starters. And firefighting is a great offensive combo, so it's a shame. Yeah, so that's reckless for you. Okay, very simple. Speed boost is obviously incredible. I'll cover speed boost at the end, but I mean, after I talk about no guard, but speed boost is such an obvious good ability. And yes, in a lot of fights, you are going to be wanting to run that over the boosts, but you are naturally pretty fast. Again, Mega Blaziken now has a 115 base speed, so you're outspeeding a lot of stuff that actually you don't need that speed boost. So you can actually take advantage of No Guard, and No Guard is a great ability for it. So No Guard, with No Guard, you have access to a lot of awesome stuff, okay? So if you click this, you can see a list of all of the inaccurate moves. This was created for the ability Luminescent and also for the ability Sixth Sense, which are two new abilities, but, you know, it's also nice to just have this as a list of inaccurate moves. So I'll just type in all inaccurate moves. Yeah. Blaziken, its best no guard move is No Guard Inferno. No Guard Inferno is 130 base power and always burns. That's incredible. Okay. Just awesome move right there with No Guard. That's why I learned it late. Fire Vortex and Fire Blast are also very strong, being 85 and 90% accurate respectively, and 130 and 120 base power respectively. So those are great options for special sets, as well as Focus Blast. Focus Blast is a great option for no guard sets. Okay, so Fire Vortex, Focus Blast, Inferno, and Fire Blast are your. Did I say Fire Vortex or Fire Blast? I said both. Okay, great options. All right. Also, Seed Flare should be a slightly darker shade of green. Not my consistency. There we go. So that's awesome for special sets. Okay, Inferno. Sorry, No Guard really makes special sets worth using, which I like because yes, that's another stat. That's an important stat change. So yes, they are overall a lot less bulkier because they don't look very bulky at all. And in exchange, they are a lot faster. And Mega Blaziken is actually a lot more of a mixed attacker because base Blaziken have 120, 110 offenses. So I figured why not have Mega Blaziken follow that same stat trend of 160, 150 offenses. So he's just really good. You know, strong offensive Pokemon. Of course, in this hack, these stats are nothing crazy whatsoever. There are tons of Pokemon that can easily combat Blaziken. Every Pokemon, for the most part, has access to a priority move. No, actually, literally every single Pokemon has access to at least one priority move. And the vast majority of Pokemon have access to one or even two stab priority moves. So, like, any water type can just click Bubble, fucking Shot, or Aqua Jet and just kill this thing. You know, it's not hard to do. That's of course, the issue is, you know, you have to keep those moves all the time and whatever. It's, you know, that's part of the strategy is balancing your movesets and stuff. But at the end of the day, you can kill it. However, Blaziken does 4 times resist First Impression via, which is a very common strong TM move that a lot of Pokemon have. So he is very resistant to First Impression. He also resists Sucker Punch, which is another common priority move via TM. And so that's nice to be able to resist those. Definitely good for his typing. yeah, no guard's great for special sets because of that. And then as for physical sets, you have access to high jump kick, obviously, and dive bomb, obviously, which are great because you completely ignore that nasty chance to, essentially kill yourself in 2 turns if you miss 2 in a row. So that's cool. That's awesome, right? Those are great options to no guard. You also have access to, excuse me, physically you have access to a lot of coverage moves with no guard, or especially you actually have access to no special coverage moves. But physically you have access to Megaton Kick, which is ground type. You can literally see what these do here. Like you can see the power. Also, let's just say 120. But you can see what these all do here, okay? Like, I'm not going to waste time covering them all. If you're looking at the video, you can see what all these moves, the power of them. And as for the additional effects, you can check those out. But yeah, Megaton Kick, Stone Edge, Gunk Shot, are all very good coverage moves that do not miss, as well as Dive Bomb. So those are all good with no guard sets. And then, of course, you have Stab, High Jump Kick, as well as Blaze Kick and other 95% accurate moves. So Blaze Kick, Rock Slide, Searing Shot, those are 95. Sky Uppercut, those are moves that have a very small chance to miss. Hell Thrust, etc. It's small chance to miss, but it's nice that you don't have to worry about that 5% miss. So that's very good. All right. No guard's a great ability. I think both of them fit very well. I think Reckless is very fitting, and then no guard kind of just fits whatever. He's a fighting type. He's very quick. His combat style kind of makes sense for no guard in my opinion. So yeah, no guard's a great option. Again, that really does encourage the use of something other than speed boost as well. I like that a lot. So there's great abilities right there. As for speed boost, obviously you can use those protect sets, get that speed boost. You can run bulky sets because in this hack you do have access to infinite usability capsules and infinite and instantaneous EV training. So what you can do is you can just swap. Okay, this fight I want to run a max speed reckless set. Next fight I want to run a max HP speed boost set. That kind of thing. It's something you can really take advantage of. You also have Nasty Blood and Swords Dance, as well as Bulk Up, all of which are great boosting options. Also stuff like Z Mirror Move for earlier in the game. Z Mirror Move will give you +2 attack. You also have stuff like Raging Fury and Power Up Punch, and Flame Wheel Force, and Flame Wheel and Rolling Kick, which boost your attack or speed, and our Stab. So those are good. Again, tons of great coverage. You got Electric, Bug, Poison, Flying, Rock, Ground, even Fairy with Play Rough. It's awesome stuff right there. Lots of priority. You have dual stab priority with Mach Punch, Power Dash, Ignite, Vacuum Wave. Obviously, that's not the greatest because he's very fast already, but it's still nice to have. Battle Cry is good. You can actually run a bulky speed boost set if you really wanted to with max HP for specific fights. Obviously 75, 70 bulk is not great, but with something like Battle Cry and Morning Sun, you can actually become pretty tanky and get speed for free, which is nice. You can kind of stall out turns. You also have stuff like Taunt and Parting Shot for utility as well, Will-O-Wisp, etc. So that's really cool. Counter, etc. Reversal is fucking incredible with speed boost. I'm sure we all know. In competitive, it's a bit gimmicky because you can never really guarantee, but in game, having access to the Endure TM, which means you can teach Endure whenever the fuck you want, and then you have access to, also yes, Grass Knot is a physical move, so that's good for physical sets, but you also have Solar Beam for special, if you want to run like a Sun Blaziken or something. But, I didn't cover other, I missed a couple other no guard options. I already covered the special ones, but last week for physical sets, you also have access to Triple Kick. Triple Kick is incredible with no guard. Triple Kick is buffed, so it's essentially like fighting type Triple Axle in a sense. So it's just very strong. It's overall 120 base power, and it hits 3 times, and that will never miss. And it's just a very consistent option with no guard. It is 10 base power weaker than High Jump Kick, however, it hits 3 times, so that can bypass a lot of stuff, such as a Choppleberry or a Sturdy or Focus Sash or Multiscale, that kind of stuff. Hitting through that is really awesome. So that's definitely worth investing in. However, it learns those moves. It learns those moves earlier than High Jump Kick for a reason, because High Jump Kick is great with Reckless and No Guard, so that's kind of a staple. Because you can use it on Pre-Mega and Mega Blaziken and get, good stuff with your abilities. So yeah, good synergy. Excuse me. What else is there? Speed Boost obviously is incredible. I already said that, but you also have stuff like Baton Pass, which is negative priority, but it's still a niche little thing. You can run like Bulk Up Baton Pass on like a slow, bulkier set. You also have, again, Reversal is incredibly powerful. Reversal, Speed Boost, Endure, Lychee Berry, boom. I mean, you kill everything. That isn't even resistance to fighting. You probably kill with like max attack, +1 attack, 200 base power reversal. You're probably killing them for the most part, unless they're a bulky resist. And as for ghosts, you have Sucker Punch, you have Hell Thrust, you have Knockoff, tons of stuff that hit ghosts. You can also just run Fire Stab that ghosts. Fire Lash, Raging Fury gives you +1 attack. You could run that with the reversal set if you want. It's really good stuff right there. You can also run a Raging Fury Focus Sash set without a speed boost, so you can actually have them outspeed you, take you to Focus Sash, get that 100 base power Raging Fury off, because it's 50 base power unless you move last, get that +1 attack, get that Focus Sash, and then get that speed boost, and now you can, now you're sweeping. A little bit easier said than done. Yes, there will be a lot of ways to counteract sweeping on the opponent's side. Stuff like Taunt, stuff like and Unaware, stuff like Priority Whirlwind, Priority Roar, which I have 1 PP now, so that's great to stop sweeps, and those will be relatively common, just so you can't just brainlessly sweep Pokemon trainer battles non-stop. But of course, with a little bit of planning or a little bit of intelligence, or I wouldn't say intelligence, but a little bit of game sense, you can really still take advantage of these setup moves and sweep, despite the decreased PP on all of them. For example, Soil's Dance but only 1 PP, etc. You can check out all these buffs and changes and nerfs or whatever in the description below, so I won't dwell on it too much longer. Honestly, I was very fast with this one. It's a very self-explanatory buff. Combuskin and Torchic are a lot stronger. I did consider giving them Unburden instead of Speed Boost for balancing reasons, but fuck it. Just let them keep Speed Boost, I figured. Although Unburden would be pretty cool with like gems and Undoer Unburden sets would be pretty sick. Like Undoer Pataya, Undoer Lychee, Unburden is pretty sick. I like Unburden a lot, but especially with the reintroduction of gems in this hack. But at the end of the day, just let it keep speed boost, it's fine. Makes Blaze kind of niche, which is the reason I wanted to do it. Blaze is still very strong though. Again, Endure Blaze sets are extremely powerful. Blaze is a very underrated, very strong ability, so people definitely take advantage of that more, especially with access to the trainer docks. You can easily sweep fights with Blaze for early game. So yeah, not easily, but you can sweep fights with Blaze. I think that's about it, honestly. I could cover more, but I think I covered everything pretty thoroughly and pretty quickly. Blaziken is my... I really prefer Mega Blaziken's design. I think Mega Blaziken is pretty sick looking, but pre-Mega Blaziken just looks kind of... I don't know, he's always looked off to me. Although he does look good in this Global Link art. I think his real art looks kind of stupid, though. I don't know, something about his hair is kind of awkward to me, and I don't like his colors. Mega Blaziken, the black is a really nice touch, and the flame cuffs are pretty sick. I don't know, he's pretty cool. Also, I like how in this art base Blaziken has the fire cuffs. I think it looks a lot better with the fire cuffs. It looks a lot less naked. I don't know. Cool mon. I know a lot of people love the hell out of Blaziken. Blaziken's pretty sick, but one of my least favorite old starters. Of course, the new gen starters are not my cup of tea, but in terms of good starters, he's one of my least favorite good starters, if that makes sense. Did he neck out, boy? Hold on. Excuse me, everybody. I should just quickly check this. I feel like he did. I guess not. Okay. Well, yeah, that's about it. I could cover a little bit more. For example, mix sets are very good. You have good mixed offenses. You can switch between physical and special sets at will. So one battle, you might want to run Reckless. Physical set. Next fight, you might want to run Inferno, No Guard, or whatever. Just it's easy to switch between those. So it's always good to have that. Yeah, that's about it. I think I covered everything. So great coverage, great setup, mon. Strong. Also, again, bulky sets of speed boost are pretty good. You can also just run bulky sets of speed boost and still be offensive. So, for example, like max HP, max attack with bulk up with speed boost and Morning Sun or Drain Punch or something. That's a pretty good set because at 105 base speed, that's the last thing I'll talk about. Actually, I'll talk about the speed tiers. So, 105 base speed with 0 investment, it was pretty fucking fast. So, where is that? 105 with a neutral nature and 0 speed investment at +1 speed hits 369 speed, which outspeeds base 110, 115 Jollymons. 367, right? So there you go. You have to be base 117 months with 0 speed investment after 1 speed boost turn. You also have Z Detect, which heals you by full, which is pretty cool, with Titanium Z, so that heals you to full, so that's a better option over Protect. Obviously, you can't reteach it though, so it's kind of niche, but it's cool to have. Yeah, just really fast. Of course, with investment, you're one of the fastest Pokemon in the hack after 1 speed boost. And then Mega Blaziken obviously is even faster with or without investment. So yeah, that's about it. I think I covered everything. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was informative. Sorry if it's a little bit brief or a little bit less in-depth than Sceptiles, but it is Blaziken. I mean, it does what Blaziken does, just better and with cooler options now. So that's about it. Thank you for listening. I hope this video was informative. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe if you listen this far in, and check out my other videos. That would be very helpful for me and also for you. You can, again, check all these changes out for yourself in the description below. If this kind of thing interests you. You can also join my Discord server, play my other ROM hack in there while you wait for this one to come out. It is a little bit older, but it's still fun. You can talk to other people in there, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to leave it off here, and bye.